Now that we've cleared our space, we're going to energize it to make the space the perfect space for our energy work. We're going to do this by using sound, and Darshan and I are wearing finger cymbals, but you can use any sort of sound maker you have, including your own voice.
You can also use flower petals or incense smoke, anything that you can use to bring your own awareness and intention into the edges of your space and the center of your space. So let's walk around the periphery of the space and then spiral into the center, dropping sound out into the edges of the space like water. When you come to the center, let's acknowledge every direction of center and the subtle nuances of energy that you find there. Now let's energize the breath and spine.
We're going to start with just some simple movements to connect the movement of the body with the breath. So you can do these exercises either kneeling on the floor or seated in a chair. We're just going to start only with the breath and feeling it in your body. Inhale deeply through your nose and exhale. Just take a few breaths this way. And feel the breath filling your rib cage, filling your lungs and your belly. Now on your next inhalation, feel the breath expand in your body and expand your rib cage into a slight arch. As you exhale, contract and let your back round. Inhale, fill the body and arch. You can lift the chin slightly. And exhale and contract. Allow your breath to guide the movement. And on your next inhale, bring the arms in. Raise the arms on your inhale, arch, and look up. And exhale. Let the breath fill your movement, and your movement extend to the end of each inhalation and exhalation. Next exhalation, place your hands on the floor and feel your connection with the earth.
Then bring your feet flat on the ground. Find your feet pressing into the ground and lift the hips up, whether you're kneeling or seated. Hang for a moment and just let the space fill between your vertebrae and the spine. Just hang and breathe. And with a slight bend in the knees, slowly roll up your entire spine, vertebra by vertebra, stacking each vertebra on top of the last, with space in between. Finally standing with a light, free spine. We're going to roll back down.
with the intention of making space between every vertebra, space and control and energy, room for energy between every vertebra. So just take your skull alone and tilt it forward, lifting the next vertebra up. And then next vertebra lifts up. Each vertebra starts to slide forward, and the next one lifts up. So feel your energy as if I was pulling up on your next vertebra. You're stretching upward and releasing the next vertebra down. Each next vertebra pulling up until your whole spine is just hanging from a string at your sacrum. Just hang and feel the space between every vertebra of your long spine. Space and energy flowing between them. Your head releases, maybe a little shake of the head. Lots of space in there. We're gonna roll back up. Again, you can start right down at your tailbone. Then you're gonna just delicately set your sacrum on top of the tailbone. So roll up in there, feel the tendons and muscles in there. Setting the next one carefully on top. Each vertebra lifts and sets spaciously on top of the next. Lifting, 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 making lots of space for energy in your spine. Let's begin to energize the lower extremity, the relationship to ground and earth, and at the same time, your sense of being in your body and belonging in your physical space. Let's press the feet into the ground firmly. Press them in, just feel them growing down into the ground like roots. Energy coming down through your legs, growing out and down into the ground. Press them in and feel your weight. You can just start to press them alternately and let the hips loosen up and shake. Give a little shimmy, loosening up all your thigh muscles and your hips and pelvis, and just loosen up that whole lower extremity and just press those feet into the ground. You're solid. Breathing and still.
Now we're going to take a nice wide stance with the legs. Just going to open up and really sit down with our weight. So you feel your body in your legs and your feet. As you're doing this, make sure to keep your lower back long and reaching your tailbone towards the earth. Take a few breaths here and just get a sense of really enjoying your weight and your solidity. And from here, we'll continue with a little bit with opening up the spine. And we're going to lift up and take a stretch on the side. Reach up through the left side of the rib cage and over on an exhale. On an inhale, feel your spine rolling up. And exhale as you take the arm down. Let's inhale and lift on the opposite side. Reaching the spine up and over. And on your next inhale, coming back up and taking the arm down. Now we're going to come up, straighten the legs a little bit, bring the feet a little bit together, and work with really placing our weight. So as you take these steps to the side, feel very sure of your footing. Where you're placing your weight, feel your body sinking down in the center between your feet. Sink down and feel your connection to the earth.
Let's come out and pause and return to the center. And then out the other side and return to center. Out and in. And out, and in. And you can let the shoulder come with you. Little shoulder circle in the direction where you're placing your weight. Let's take it a little faster. Out, in. Solid. Let's take the wide stance again. Now just feel your pelvis here. Remember, you don't want to be shooting that out to the back. Make sure you're solid. The pelvis sits down right into the earth. Now feel the pelvis floating back and forth on your legs. Just floating level back and forth. Kind of mobilize your legs, mobilize your pelvis. Feel yourself floating around on your weight, on your feet. Lunge. We're going to lunge off to the side. So point these toes to one side and then let the back heel come up. Feel the front knee right over the ankle and feel the tailbone reaching down and the navel reaching up. Lifted in the rib cage. Let's bring the heel down and back to your comfort level and then lift it up. Press the ball of the foot into the ground and set the heel down and up onto the ball. Keep the knee over the ankle. Down and up. And down and up. Down and up. Down and up. Down and up. And down and up. And we're going to go forward. Find that center. And over to the other side. Toes face here, the knees over the ankle. Back heel comes up, planted here. Tailbone down, navel up, rib cage up, and breathe. So set the heel down and press it up. And down and up. And down and up. Down and up and down, pressing into the ground with your feet. And down and up, and let's come center again. Nice strong stance. Now if we lunge to the side again, and we contract the belly and the spine towards the back. We can bring both wrists to the front here. Then we'll come to the center and open out. We'll come to the side here, contract the spine, open in the center. Contract and open. Contract and open. Contract, arch the spine and open. Arching forward. Make a lot of space in the spine. Good. And straighten the legs. Bend, straighten, and bend. Now let's bring one heel out a little further again. We'll face both your toes forward, and we're gonna bend over into one side so that the knee is right over the ankle. Just bring your hips back, navel up and in. We're stretching the inner thigh. Good, feel that stretch. And over to the other side. Remember, knee over the ankle. That's an important one. Stretch out the inner thigh over here. Reach those hips back. Chest reaches through forward. Shoulders are open. And breathe. And over to this side. And over to this side. And breathe and stretch. And deepen your connection with the ground. And come up. Up. And let's jump the feet together. Let's shimmy for a second. Feel that connection. For a strong stance, let's reestablish that relationship to the ground. We're gonna jump stomp one foot onto the ground. The other one goes out as a kickstand. You're balanced, you belong in your space. And stomp, and stomp, and stomp, and stomp, and stomp. Plant that foot in the ground. You belong here. Good, and feet together. Now to propel yourself skyward with your relationship to the ground, we're gonna jump. So first we'll lift one knee, and then we'll replace it with the other knee. A jump. And then we can step out with that foot. And then we'll lift this knee. Lift, replace, set it out. Ready? Lift, replace, set it out. Good, find your balance in the air. Faster. Lift, replace, set it. Good, and settle. Shimmy that out. As we build this energy creature from the ground up, we've set up the lower extremity, the energy connected to the ground. Now we're gonna set the pelvis on top of it. I want a free space in this hip here. So we're gonna find the legs and the pelvis. Now, sometimes we have a tendency to hyperextend the knees. People sometimes stand like this. So if Maria hyperextends her knees, and then the top of her thigh presses forward, making a lot of tension here in the hip, and it makes it hard for her to have freedom in the hip and do fancy hip moves and be able to dance around. And also it makes tension in her low back. So right now we want to make sure she's got a little soft bend in the knee, and then that's going to help to press the top of her femur back. So this comes a little forward, this comes a little back, softening in this area here. You just want to feel a softness in the front of that hip. And that way you can relax the low back here. So you can reach the tailbone down, engaging the low belly, lengthening the spine. You've got a beautiful curve in your back. You want to honor that. We don't flatten out this low back. We let it have a gentle curve, but it's reaching down and it's also reaching up at the same time. That's also going to help you have some softness in the hip here. So let's take a little shimmy there. Just shimmy, try to keep those knees bent, keep the legs strong, keep the top of the femur pressed back so that there's softness in your hips.
Now, from this position, we're going to move up in a reverse undulation from pelvis into the belly. So starting with our nice long lower back, we're going to contract the lower abs a little more and tip the pelvis even more forward. And then think of rolling the belly up and over and around. And as your hips come back, tucking again and lifting the pelvis and rolling it around. So we end with a movement like this. Feel here the energy lifting from your root and up into your sacrum and your pelvis.
So now let's mobilize our steps. We want to be able to freely move in every direction without limitation. So you step with one foot forward, and then you rock back. And we step to the side and rock back. And then we step behind and rock back. So we're front and side and back. Let's try the other foot. We step front and side and back. And front and side and back. Good. Let's go a little faster. And front and side and back and front and side and back. Good. Let your hip follow your weight. The pelvis moves with the foot here. Front and side and back and front and side and back. Now remember your shimmy? If you have nice loose pelvis here, you can let there be a shake. As you step, let yourself shimmy front and side and back and front and side and back. Freeing the pelvis, freeing the steps in every direction. Front and side and back and front and side and back. Front, side, back. And breathe. Becoming certain of your steps. Good. Let's come to center. Shake it out. Breathe. And stillness. Let's look up. Let's roll down the spine. All the way down, lifting at every vertebra. And hang, relax your spine. Press your feet into the ground. Lift the hips and roll the spine back up. Shoulders back and reverse pelvic undulation. Reverse. Let's try the other side. Front, side, back. Front, side, and back. Front, and side, and back. And front, and side. And let the hips go. Really transfer the weight onto that foot with certainty. And let yourself shimmy. Let those hips reverberate as you step. And breathe. Center, shake it out, breathe, and look up. And let's roll all the way down the spine. Lifting, making space always. And lift the hips and roll yourself up. Moving into the sacral area, we want to energize the pelvis, hips, low belly, and reproductive organs. This is your creative center. As we explore this area with movement, think about unlocking the creative wisdom in your body and awakening your sense of who you are.
This center is referred to in Sanskrit as the dwelling place of the self. This is where we express our individuality and creative spirit. We're going to do some movements that involve the sacral area, and these movements flow very nicely into each other in any combination. We're going to be doing a specific sequence, but please feel free to allow yourself to be creative and let the movements flow out in any way that you like.
So lift your hip. Feel those muscles. Set it back down and press your feet into the ground. Lift on the other side, squeezing the side muscles, and press the feet. And lift, and press, and lift and press. Now lift and press it out and down. Lift the other hip and press it out and down. We're making a downward infinity loop with the hips. And out, and out, and out, and out. And next time we come out, let's pause on the side.
And then from here, we'll just take our hips around to the front and to the side and back, reaching back with the tailbone, and then forward and around, just drawing a small, gentle circle with the hips.
And when we come to the side, let's reverse. And we'll come to the side again and pause. Let's take it out a little further. Bend the knees. And we're going to reach the tailbone back even farther. And then over to the other side. We're taking a little deeper circle now. Bringing it forward, make sure that you don't compress the low back. Keep it long. Over to the side, and back, and side, and front. Side, back, side, and front, and side, and back. Keep that navel engaged, protecting your low back in the big circle. And back, and side, and front, and let's pause at the side again. Come across the front to the other side, and back, side, front.
Now reaching out to the side, we're going to lift our hip again and up and over, taking an infinity loop this time, going upwards.
Letting your weight move back and forth with the hips. Step on one side, the other hip comes up and in towards you. And coming to the center, we're going to do another infinity loop, this time outward, sliding the hips forward at a diagonal, then sliding out to the side and back. We're going to slide back forward on another diagonal, to the side and back. Slide forward, side and back, forward, side and back, forward, out to the side and back, making your spine nice and spacious, lifting up in the navel, reaching down with the tailbone, reaching up with the rib cage and chest, breathing broad into your upper back, and just feel your weight shifting back and forth on your feet. Out and in, out and in, out. Reaching with the hips. And pause. Pausing in the center. And out. 2, 3. Let's let's do circles and circle around and circle. Let's take a big circle all the way around and lift it up, and let's take them outward. Out, 1, 2, 3, and we'll pause there. And downward. 2, 3, 4. Let's circle around and around. And a big one all the way around. And bring it up and in and out, out, out. So your weight's on the back foot. You can lift the front heel. Let's poise the front hip to do some drops. And drop, and drop, and drop, and drop. Drop in the front hip. Take it down and up. Drop down, drop up, drop down, drop up, drop down. Good, just a little level change. Think about your back knee though. Use your weight and use your hips such that your standing knee still doesn't travel out far beyond your toes. So you're protecting your knee even while you use it for these level changes. And drop it down and up and down and good. Now just lift the hip. And let's contract the belly here. And then we're gonna circle the pelvis down and back and up. So tuck and down and back and up. And tuck and down and back and up. And tuck and down and back and up. And tuck and down and back. And we can round it out. Around and up. And around and up and around and up, and breathing with your movement. Around and up. Let's get our drops going again. So down and up and circle around and up and down and up and around and up. Down and up. A little faster. And down, up, around and up. Drop down, drop up, and around and up. Drop, drop, around, and down, up, around. Good. Let's try the other side. Just drop the hip. And drop, and drop. Drop it down, down, and up. Think about that knee, the standing knee, balanced. Feel the weight of it right over that ankle. Drop down, drop up, drop down, drop up. Faster, down, up, down, up. Navel stays engaged, tailbone reaches down, chest is lifted, shoulders and neck relaxed. Drop down, drop up, drop down, drop up. And breathe. And come up and pause. Lift it, tuck it, down and back. Lift, tuck, down and back. And around, up, around, up, around. Let's add the drops in. Drop down, drop up, and circle, and up. Drop down, drop up, and circle it, up. Drop down, drop up, and circle, up. Drop down, drop up, circle. Let's try that faster. Drop down, drop up, circle and up. Down, up, circle.
what we're going to do now is we're going to take an undulation like we did before, but we're going to take a forward undulation instead of our reverse. So just taking the hips forward a little, just slightly, think of lifting and scooping the pelvis up and in and pulling back with the navel. Swinging the belly and the hips. Remember to always think about your breathing here and to coordinate your movement with your breath. Think of filling forward on an inhalation and exhaling and pulling back with your undulation.
Let's add some feet to those hips. We're going to do a triangle step. So step forward and step across, small steps, and then sit back on the other foot. Step forward, across, and back, and pause, and forward, across, and back. And what about that undulation here? So forward, across, step back, and undulate. Forward, across, back, and undulate. Forward, across, step back, and undulate. Forward, across, step back, and undulate. Forward, let the hips come in the forward steps, but when you step back, it's light. So hip, and just step, and undulate. Hip, and step, and undulate, and hip, step. Should we try that faster? Hip, and undulate. 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 Notice how we've made that third step a little quicker. And undulate. Step, 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 undulate. Step, 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 undulate. And step, step. Good. So let's try it with the drops. Let's take a hip. We'll do it slowly. Drop down, drop up, and circle, and step, and across, and undulate, and drop, and up, and circle, and step, and across, and undulate. Drop, drop, circle, and step, and across, and undulate, and drop, and circle, and step, and across, and undulate. Try it faster. Drop, drop, circle, and step, across, and undulate.
Now we're moving into the solar plexus. As the name suggests, this is the sun of your body. With the movements in this section of the flow, we will establish power and enthusiasm, as well as express our warmth and passion. When your emotions are both powerful and balanced, you can find the power to assert yourself and make things happen.
So let's energize this area with the breath. We're going to connect the whole belly. We're going to take the upper belly, the middle belly, and the low belly into a breathing exercise. So as you inhale, feel the air filling the lungs, and especially this diaphragm area. The solar plexus is where your diaphragm is and where your breath lives. So fill this area, and then you can let it go. Fill this area, feel that energy coming in. Filling the upper body, filling the upper belly. Come to the middle of the belly. Let's take this area here, right in the middle, an area of the belly that sometimes it's hard to connect with. Here's where we're going to take another part of the breathing exercise. We've inhaled, we've exhaled half of the breath out, we come to the halfway point in the lungs, and we're going to waver the breath. We're going to let it come in and out just a little tiny bit in the center of the feeling of your full breath. Again, we inhale, we exhale out the top. In the center, we inhale and exhale a tiny bit. Let's try it. And then you're going to exhale the rest of your breath out and try to pull in the lower belly, connecting the full belly. So the breath goes like this. We inhale into the upper belly. We squeeze out the first half of the breath with the upper belly. We waver the breath at the center of the belly for a few moments, and then we exhale the last of the breath, making yourself completely empty and pulling in the low belly. So let's try a few of these together. We're calling this the dragon belly breath. Ready? Inhale. Exhale partially. And exhale completely. Connect with your breath. Squeeze it out. And empty yourself completely. So let's mobilize the rib cage. Let's slide it to the side and slide it over to the other side. Your knees should be a little bent. You still have that lightness in your hips. You still have that pressing down in your feet. Slide. Slide and slide. Now let's lift it up. Lift the rib cage and drop it down. And lift and drop it down. And feel how that affects your breath. Feel moving your diaphragm around in the way that it affects your breath in your body. Lift and drop. And lift and drop. And let's take it to the side again. We'll go side and lift and side and drop and side and lift and side and drop and side and lift. Keeping it nice and long. Feel your back relaxed and broad as you come around. And let's round it out. And up and down. Up and down. Up. Navel stays engaged, knees stay bent. Let's go the other way. Just slide and up and slide and down and slide and up and down again. Slide it and up. Feel those stretches at every point. You stop at that point and you engage and feel how it affects your breath. Let's round it out and up and down. Good.
Now we're going to do an undulation again. And this time we're going to bring it up into the upper body and the chest as well. So we're going to start with our chest lift that we just did, lifting the rib cage. And then think of contracting the diaphragm and dropping the rib cage back and pulling down, pulling in the whole belly and rolling out through the tailbone. And then lift again and roll down. Let it be a full spinal movement. Lift on your inhalation, feel the breath expand in the body, and exhale, compress the air out on your contraction.
So now we're going to assert ourselves. We need to stamp the feet again some more. We're going to make a double stamp. So we'll stamp back foot and then front foot. Ready? And 1. Let's switch. And 2. And switch again. And 3. And one more time. And 4. This should feel strong. This is like you're asserting. This is my place. This is what I have to say. We need to add some arms. So as we stamp, we're going to make the arms kind of open here, like this is what I'm saying. And then we're going to bring the middle finger in, and we're going to turn the hands to press out. This is what I'm saying. We open, we take them in, we press them out, and we assert, okay, as we stamp. So we'll try the other side. And 1, bring them in. And 2, bring them in. And 3. Let's go faster. You're strong. Feel the rib cage lifted. You're still open in that center area. You're leading with your strength, your passion. Don't be afraid of your strong emotions here. Maybe if you can encourage yourself to feel them, feel your capacity for them, anger, passion. You're a strong person. This is what's going to propel you forward. Feel the capacity for those strong emotions. Keep them in balance, and you'll need to do no harm. Good. And pause. We're going to add some movement forward. Again, the nature of this area is where you move forward, where you use your strength, you use your passion, enthusiasm to move you forward, make things happen. So we're going to step forward with that double stomp, and 1, 2, plant the foot in front, and 1, 2, plant. We'll use these hands again here, and at that point we can make an undulation. Use your lifted undulation. We'll make 2. Let's back up again. Other side, and 1, 2, 3, stamp. Plant yourself there. This is where I am. This is what I have to say. Back up. 2, 3. Take it back. Now we're going to add the rib circles. Once we finish undulating, we'll do rib circles, 4 of them, and we'll change pivoting to the other corner. So if we end on this corner, circle the ribs 4 times, end up facing this corner, and be ready to move forward again. So back up a little bit. 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, 2, 3. Undulate. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3. We're going to add the stomps now. Double stomps to begin, 4 of them. Then we're going to do the triple step forward with an undulation. We'll do 2 rib circles to switch. We'll do the triple step, undulation, and rib cage switch. And at that point, let's throw on the dragon belly breath. 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, and 2, 3, and 4. And 1, 2, 3. Undulate, circle, circle. And 1, 2, 3. Undulate, circle. Try your dragon belly breath now. Flutter and empty. So moving up the body and moving through our energies, we arrive at the heart. The heart is the center of transformation and of balance. It's the place where your lower center, your physical being, is balanced with your upper being, your spirituality and your emotion and your mentality. This is the place from which come your spiritual and emotional longing, your love and compassion, your sadness and your kindness.
So here in our heart is where all of the emotions live that make us human. So as we come into the heart center, let's just feel our breath in this area. So a lot of times when we're trying to protect our heart, we'll hunch forward a little bit. But also sometimes we'll tighten in the back. And we'll try to protect our heart this way. So let's fill up this whole area. So as you inhale, draw the shoulders down, feel the expansion in the back of your ribs and in your chest. Feel a broadening of the back, and feel as when you exhale and inhale in this area, that weight is lifted from your shoulders and tension is released.
So a heart-balanced breath expands outward in all directions. Forward, broadening, opening in the chest and shoulders, and also out behind you, broadening your back, lengthening the shoulders, making the rib cage more expansive, lifting you up out of the center of the body, the heart. Let's take the energy in. Take your hands and just fold them over your heart. And take yourself inward for a few moments. Try to imagine some of the feelings that are strong in you. Feel a sadness. Do you remember feeling a sadness or a longing for love, or a spiritual longing, or a yearning for something, missing someone or something? Just feel something. Allow yourself to feel something. Here's something that will take you to a place that's bigger than yourself. When you feel, allow yourself to feel and breathe that. Nurture this in yourself, in the heart center. Just take a breath here and try to remember something that you felt. Open. Take your hands and offer generously. Try to remember feeling gratitude, openness, love, a joy. As you open, feel an openness in the sides of your chest and the fronts of your shoulders. You're rotating gently upwards, and you're lifting up and out of the chest. Let's exhale and bring it back into the center. Feel your capacity for emotion there. And then inhale, opening, and lift the chin gently, spacious in the back of your neck. Exhale and bring it in. Protected but not closed. Nurtured, not too protected. Inhale and open. Open to love. And exhale and nurture and look into yourself. Now we're going to take a ball of energy right in that center there. You've located the center of your energy, your emotional energy. Let's just take the hands one on top of the other and feel the energy between your hands building like a ball of energy. Switch the hands and build the ball of energy there at the front of your heart. Feel it resonating inside your heart. The heart is lifting, the back is expanding, the shoulders are long. You're safe, but not too protected. Change the hands again, massaging the energy in front of that heart center.
And now take this energy from your heart center and offer it, extending out through the arm, through the fingertips, looking out beyond the fingers and letting that compassion from your heart reach out. And as you come back in, receiving, remember to have that same compassion and kindness for yourself. Lift it out and let it just reach out beyond the fingertips.
Look beyond your fingertips, several inches, maybe several miles. Let your movement and whatever lives within you travel with your breath out beyond your fingertips.
Allow your breath to guide the movement. Allow yourself long inhalations and exhalations. And allow yourself to receive compassion, kindness, and love.
So now for further opening, we're going to reach one of the toes out in a familiar stance. And we're also going to reach the hands out in a similar direction, pressing the palms out and reaching the fingers out. And again, let your breath and your energy go out beyond your fingers. And at the same time, lift the chest while you're reaching the tailbone down, while you're pressing the flat foot down. Lift the chest and let the head go back in a little bit of an upper back arch. And then we'll bring it back into center and go out on the other side. Deepen and lift and release out the edges and bring it into the center. Moving up, we find ourselves at the throat center. This is your center of truth, your voice. If this area is in balance, then you're living your life truthfully, and you are the storyteller of your own life. So the expression of this center is you tell a sincere story. Your every movement tells the story of your life. Your every word is strong, full of your voice.
And here we also want to focus on listening. So listening not only to sounds or voices, but also to your own body, listening to your inner voice. And not only hearing the sounds and voices of the world around you, but really listening to them. Every one of our voices is unique and important.
Let's take the hands up to the throat. Cover the throat and feel the energies of your hands moving between the energies of the throat. And then we open the hands, make a window for the throat onto the world, opening the hands outward and down.
Inhale. On your next exhalation, make a sound with your breath. You can just vocalize it as a sigh in your throat. You can hum or you can make a little louder sound. Let it come out and listen to the sound that your breath makes and that your voice makes. As you exhale with the sound, allow your face and your jaw to relax. So you relax the mouth, the cheeks, the eyes, and your expression.
In your home, we encourage you to stretch your face here. You want to have an expressive face that helps to tell your story, whether you're dancing, speaking, or just breathing. You should have a very expressive face that tells the story you don't need to tell with your voice.
Now we're going to take this breath with the vocalization with some movement in the body. So we're going to exhale as we go down and arch, making a sound with the breath. And inhale, rolling up.
Reach the tailbone back and make the spine long. Listen to the story that your breath has to tell. We're going to arch down one more time with the vocalization, and when we come back up, we're going to pull the energy from the ground and up through the rest of the centers, through the throat chakra. Ready? And inhale. One more time, let's arch down. This time, gather the energy from the earth, pull it up all your centers, back to the throat center. And with your breath, press it out to the side. Bring it back into the center. And then lift one hand up and around you, describing your environment with your hand. You write the story, you tell the story with the hand. Let's go down again. Pull the energy up. Press it out. And describe your story. Expressive hands and face. 2 more. We're moving up into the third eye now. The center of focus, concentration, vision, intuition. You can locate a feeling for this concentration and vision between the eyes, and you can also feel behind your skull, at the bottom of the back of your skull. There's an energy connection between your eyes and the center of the back of your skull. This is where your focus and concentration could be found. If you have a partner to dance with, here's a good place to look in someone's eyes and just do some simple dances together, as if you were a mirror. Looking in their eyes. To be able to look in eyes with concentration, without fear, without apologizing for who you are and what you see. You're not afraid to see what's there, to see through things and see clearly. So now's a good opportunity to take where you can look in your own eyes in the mirror. You can find a partner and look in their eyes. You could close your eyes and imagine the eyes of someone you love or someone who sees you deeply. Close your eyes and look within. If you want, you can look at me now. We want to give you some eyes that you can look at unblinkingly, unapologetically for a full minute. Close your eyes. Let's cover the eyes with the hands. Just feel that energy turning inward. We're going to do some exercises for the eyes now. We're going to stretch out the eyeballs. So take your eyes and look upwards, just with your eyeball. Leave your chin where it is and look upwards with the eyeballs. Then look up over to the side, stretch them to the side, and then take them down. And then take your eyeballs to the other side. Your eyes are closed and covered. Bring them up to the side and down and to the side. And now smooth out the circle. Make a nice slow circle with your eyeballs. feeling every edge of your vision. And if there's any place where the vision skips, where your eyeball doesn't want to go over that spot, go back and smooth out the circle and make a nice, long, slow, smooth circle with the eyeballs. Now's a good time to switch your circle. Go back around in the other direction, very slowly, very smoothly, tracing the full circle of your eyeballs and stopping in every point where it skips, doesn't want to go back over that spot. Rinse it out until your circle is full and your eyeballs are unfettered. Eyes are covered and closed. Now let's open the eyes. Bring the hands forward like a blade. And bring the hands out. Concentration. Now balancing on one leg. We're going to work the balance. So focusing on that third eye between your two eyes. Let's lift one leg and just cross it over the other knee. Nice and strong, seated in your pelvis, finding the balance in the standing foot. You can bring one hand over, focus is inward, and just place a finger upon your third eye. And feel your balance, and breathe, lifting and pressing down. Changing feet, let's open. Other foot up. Cross it over the knee. Balance. Breathe. And bring the hand to the third eye, focusing inward. Lifting in the chest. Pressing down with the foot and the pelvis. Navel's engaged at the center, heart is open. And open.
Now we're going to bring our gaze inward. So again, focus on the third eye, just above and directly between your eyebrows, and close the eyes, just focusing here. As you do this, feel your balance on both feet. You can rock gently side to side, back and forth, just shifting your weight. And now shift your weight to one leg. And as you do this, you can open your eyes a little bit, but keep focus soft. And just come to balance on one leg again. And just play with your balance a little bit. Take the free leg back and forth, sweep it around. And then switch your balance side to side. Come to the other side. And go any direction you like. Allow your balance to shift and your body to move intuitively.
Imagine yourself standing before the ocean, something so vast, so mysterious that you can't even imagine what's there, but you trust that it is as it should be, and that you're an important part of it. You belong here at the ocean. This is your relationship to the crown chakra. Imagine you take a little water from the ocean, you wash it up over your head and surrender. Great ocean, whatever my relationship is to you, I accept that. Everything that's bigger than yourself, all the knowledge that is not yours, everything else that exists, you accept that as part of yourself. Standing before the ocean.
It's here at the crown that we access our connection to the divine through stillness, through meditation, through surrender.
We can cover the eyes here. This is something we don't need to look to see. There's a chest drop that can suggest surrender. Let's do 4. Drop and drop and drop and drop to get us to the other side. Let's go the other way. Cover the eyes and drop, 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 drop. Cover the eyes and drop, 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 and drop. And cover the eyes. Just imagine releasing everything and drop, 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 like you're falling through the air and it's fine. Cover the eyes and drop and drop and drop and drop. I'm going to drop the head down. We're going to circle around, but just lifting up so that the eyes go above the horizon. And circle around again and lift on the other side. Again, when we're doing this, we are surrendering. We want the movement to be free, but we also don't want to compress the back of the neck. That's still important.
So as you're doing these movements, remember, as Darshan said, not to hurt yourself, not to compress the back of the neck, but also concentrate here more on the energy of the movement rather than necessarily a perfect form. Just allow it to flow out of you and allow yourself to surrender to the feeling of the movement.
Like waves, moving around, and remember to keep your body open. Gently remember, someplace far off, all the chakras that you've connected on your way here. Your feet are firmly planted in the ground. Your pelvis is loose. You're strong through the sacral, breathing in the central chakras, breathing through the throat. You feel your truth, your vision, your focus, and you surrender everything. From here we can spin, another way to surrender. So slowly starting to move around yourself. You can watch one of your hands. Your hands can move slowly. Just slowly walk around yourself and try to focus on one of your hands. Remember to breathe and just let go.
Yourself getting very dizzy as you do these kind of turns, be careful not to hurt yourself. If you feel like you're going to fall down, then do stop and come down to the floor to ground yourself again and touch the earth.
And if you wish, you can reverse directions. Place of stillness. Take a deep breath. Let's inhale. Let's arch down one more time and just release ourselves down. Release your spine. Hang for a moment, your hands and feet connected to the ground. If you can. Let's bring the knees to the ground. And then let's bring the forehead to the ground.
As you come to the end of your meditation, it is important to ground and reestablish your connection to the earth and a sense of stillness. You may want to come down to the floor slowly and feel your feet, hands, and forehead connecting to the earth. Feel free to stay here as long as you need to or to lie down, Don't force anything, and allow your breath to return gently to its natural rhythm, and feel yourself whole and supported by the earth.
Curl the toes under. Press yourself up. Lift the hips. Roll up.
Your feet are planted firmly. You're in tune with your creative wisdom, unapologetic, and your passion propels you forward to live from a place of love. You feel connected to the divine. You trust life to guide you. Your vision is clear, your focus sharp. You move in truth, and your life is full of love.